Hello and welcome to another video in the series of sentence structuring. Um, this is a second video in this series, and the purpose here is to pick some rich sentences and dissect them to understand how exactly they have been built. Um, this is with the explicit purpose of teaching students how to manufacture, how to build sentences that are good, that help you score better bands in IELTS exam or better score in PTE, GMAT, even in GRE exam. So let us go through this sentence and study. These are two sentences, and we'll study the connection between them as well as some of the things that you can use while you are writing a sentence. The first sentence is leaders of regional parties which appear to be in a position to stop the incumbent government in its tracks have started talking about an alliance. Now, this sentence, again, as in the previous video, this sentence has two parts. One is the main sentence over here in red color. Leaders of regional parties have started talking about an alliance. And there is a modifier element. Modifiers are those, as I have explained in the previous video, that give an additional information about a sentence and they do not have an existence of their own. So which appear to be in a position to stop incumbent government in its tracks. This does not have an opinion, this does not have a position or standing of its own. It is not a complete sentence, it's a clause, and it's dependent on the main sentence. The main sentence has an existence of its own. Even if you delete the modifier, the sentence still stands. So this is usually separated by a comma. There's a comma over here and a comma over here. So which appear to be in a position to stop the incumbent government in its tracks. Now which is an adjective pronoun. It's an adjective pronoun and this is basically an adjective clause that gives quality of the word it is placed next to. So what is it placed next to? It is placed next to regional parties. So which appear to be in a position to stop the incumbent government. Who is in a position to stop the incumbent government? The regional parties. And the which refers to regional parties. Now, there are a few other things to note. The first is which appear to be. Appear to be is the same as seem to be. And these two, you can also use seem to be or appear to be. These two reflect an anticipation, a possibility, and that possibility is in present as well as mostly in future. So to be is used when you have a possibility about future, as explained over here. In a position to stop the incumbent government. Now this is a collocation. What is the nature of government? It is incumbent. All governments are incumbent. If they're not incumbent, that is not a government. Incumbent means it is in power. So we are referring to a particular government which is incumbent. That is why the is used over here. The incumbent government. So this is a collocation. The words usually come together. The incumbent government in its tracks. Now, leaders of regional parties have started talking about an alliance. Have plus the second form of verb and ing form of another verb this is an often used construction, and it refers to are talking. They are actually talking, but the exact difference is are talking just refers to the moment. When you're using have started talking, they have started talking. So it refers to that the event started somewhere and it is continuing in the present. So it started over here, the point where it began. It began over here and it is continuing. Had it been just one point in the space and that point is in the present, this is present. They began in the past and this is present. So if something began in the past and is continuing in the present, they started talking. If they are talking right now at this moment, then you use present continuous tense. They are talking, but here they have started talking about an alliance. Alliance means that they are coming together. Let me write over here. Alliance is they are coming together. Okay, let us move to the next sentence. But it is doubtful if they have a proper understanding of the current political scenario. Now, but is used to refer to a contrast. That is, it means that though something A took place, there is an opposite element of B. Okay, so if there is an A and there is something which is opposite of A and that is B, you place a but over here. And a sentence usually begins, you can begin a sentence with but, you can also begin a sentence with however. When you're placing a sentence, within a sentence, when you're placing a contrast, you're not breaking the sentence, but you want to place a contrast in the same sentence, it is better to use a semicolon, however, comma, then B. Or a full stop, however, or but, the same thing, comma, B. Now, but it is doubtful. It is plus adjective is a commonly used construction in English language. This is pretty common. For instance, it is likely to rain. It is likely to rain. Or it is impossible for me to meet you today. So it is impossible. So these are adjectives and they are often used in English language. And this is a common construction. Um, for instance, if you are in a speaking interview part or you are in the speaking session of IELTS, and somebody asks you, the examiner asks you, so how was your journey? The question is on a tourist journey, and the topic is on tourist journey, and the examiner asks, how was your journey? You can simply say, well, it was exciting, it was relieving, it was rejuvenating. So, exciting itself is an adjective. Um, if they have if is used to refer to whether they have or do they have a proper understanding. Proper understanding is again a collocation of the current political scenario. So what is the nature of understanding? It is proper. So there are a few things that you can use in your IELTS exam. For instance, some collocations, these sentence constructions, it is doubtful, or even the use of modifiers. Um, even have started talking. These things can be used in the exam. You just need to practice to inculcate them in your speaking style or even in your writing style. So this was about it, and I'll come back with another sentence structure discussion. Stay tuned for more.